Welcome to InfoHub Extended. In this segment, we take a look at Mashramani and how it has evolved since its start in Linden decades ago. Mash is a Guyanese thing and represents the essence of social cohesion. Here is a look at what this national event started from.
Guyanese from all walks of life since 1970 have been celebrating Republican status on February the 23rd yearly. But do we really know how it came into being? Mashramani began in the town known as Linden in Region 10 following independence in 1966. According to Jimmy Hamilton, one of the festival's founding fathers, the celebration was not always called Mashramani.
So we have Independence Carnival in '68, and we did everything copied from Trinidad. We had a carnival queen, we had a calypso contest, old mass, juve, you name it, steel band. And this went on in '69. In 1970, when we were now going to become a republic, and one of the president of the day, in a public statement, said that, comrades, we are now going to be a republic, and I don't want to hear that you're crowning queens and kings. We in Royal Dinamo. So that shook us. Well, what are we going to do? We can't have a carnival queen. What's going to happen? And that was the trigger that started Mashramani. There is no such word as mash. I don't know if you've heard of that. There's no such word, except maybe mashed potatoes. The word is Mashramani. And I'll tell you briefly how we came up with that. Like any other country in the world, there are settlements in the remote areas from the city. And it has always been with some envy, I think, that people, and particularly young people, who are caught in those remote areas for the city and the capital, where everything happens there, there's excitement, there's all the facilities. And very often, where you are, you're deprived of even basic transportation. Well, the Linden that you heard today was such a place. There was no Linden until 1970. So the people who settled there go back over 100 years. There were settlers who came and did bleeding, and then later that ran out, they went into timber. And then 100 years ago, bauxite came. At that time, you had Wismar, which is a German name because the first settlers there were Germans, and Christianburg came from two other people from overseas. One was Christian, and one was Vandenberg, and they got married and changed, called the place Christian from the husband to Berg from the wife. Mackenzie came just over 100 years ago. A guy by the name of George Bain Mackenzie came to Guyana and bought the lands for a company in Canada. His name is George Bain Mackenzie, and then the area was named after him. The whole entire area was owned by the Alcon Company, aluminum company of Canada. I go back there because what happened, like I said before, people were caught there. There were no roads at that time, and the only means of transportation was by launch, barges, and it took hours. It took several hours. So the people who went up there as the bauxite company developed and required skills and so on, came from the coastlands. They came from Essex-Pibbo, Demerara, Berbice. And because you were going into a remote area, their children in many places, their families remained where they were wherever.
Alan Feetkow, who worked in the geological department of the Bauxite Company, was called in on the research project to transform the carnival to a Guyanese celebration. Hamilton notes that Feetkow told stories about various Amerindian cultural celebrations, one of which was Mashramani. It was a celebration which usually goes for days during a wedding or after the end of hard labor. The Mashramani concept was then taken to Georgetown for the first time in 1972 and then to other parts of the country in keeping with nationalistic principles.
As part of efforts to ensure Mashramani is truly a national event, many of the events and associated activities are being taken to the various regions countrywide.
For the first time in the country's history, national MASH events were taken countrywide. Mashramani coordinator Andrew Tyndall says taking activities regionally has been the main drive of the Ministry of Social Cohesion. Reason being, Mashramani belongs to all Guyanese, and as such, all should be given the opportunity to embrace and be part of celebrating the country's Republican status. Decentralizing the national events has seen tremendous support, Tyndall stated.
Based on the kind of support that we would have seen this year, we would have received this year, definitely consideration will be given to adopt this as kind of the new structure and the way we roll out MASH, where we allow persons who do not live in Georgetown, persons who live in the outlying regions to have an opportunity.
Some of the events hosted regionally were the Junior Calypso Monarch in Miconi Region 5, Senior Calypso Competition in Linden Region 9, Steel Band concerts in Regions 6 and 3.
We had a crowd of about 2,500 plus, and that's the largest crowd that we've ever seen at a Junior Calypso competition. In Lethem, again for the semifinals of the Adult Calypso competition, we saw somewhere around 2,500 to 3,000 persons. In Linden, we had over 4,500 persons attend that. And as I said, in Bartica, while we didn't get the expected turnout, it was largely due to the weather, but a number of persons were excited about the competition.
The only reason not hosting MASH activities was Region 1, Barima-Winey. Tyndall explained that Region 1 will be priority come 2019. Taking the national events regionally has increased an interest in MASH from across the region.
People from all around us come by she.
The Guyana Telephone and Telegraph Company, GTT, is expected to be one of the largest corporate MASH bands that will be participating in the 48th Republic Anniversary celebration. GTT Chief Executive Officer Justin Ned described the company as being for Guyana. GTT is Guyanese.
GTT has always been a significant part of developing culture in Guyana. We're not stopping, and MASH 2018 is certainly a testimony to that. Big kudos to my team that put in a significant amount of work in 2017. So this is our celebration and our giving back to the country, because we're all for getting to the heart of the community, and GTT is for Guyana, and GTT is Guyanese.
The band is currently 400 persons strong and growing daily, with several promotions and persons to get on board. The company is collaborating with local entertainment company Pulse Entertainment.
We're very, very optimistic about the spirit of the people, and as we collaborate with several companies across Guyana, we see a wonderful turnout by Guyanese.
On January 9th, GTT Pulse Band launched a fitness camp at the Everest Cricket Club ground Ivalery, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 16:30 hours to 18:30 hours. Several other events to be hosted by the partners are a Family Fun Day, Amazon Gems Jungle Juve, and the camp's finale on February the 21st. Zanil Williams for InfoHub.
As the national festival evolves, so too does the route.
This year, the festival will be celebrated under the theme Let's Cooperate and Celebrate Republic 48. After a series of changes in the Mashramani float parade, this year they will be proceeding down a new route. Minister of Social Cohesion, who holds the responsibility for youth, culture and sports, Dr. George Norton.
All participating bands will assemble on Thomas Lands, west of Albert Street. The first judging point will be by the National Park. And the parade will proceed east along Thomas Lands, then south into Vicendian Road and into Durban Park using the Vicendian and Hatfield Street entrance.
The Mash Day Float Parade is more than just about floats and revelers. It is also an opportunity for many to ply their trade in food, drinks, and whatever else patrons may need on that national holiday.
The Georgetown Mayor and City Council, responsible for the allocation of booths on Mash Day, announced yesterday that 230 spots have been sold thus far to some 140 vendors.
The route that we're taking this year is between Woolford Avenue. We're using Lachman Singh Highway to Lamaha Street, then to Church Street, into Hatfield Street, Irving Street, ending at the Jubilee Park. Now, we have sold approximately 230 spots so far, and those were sold to 140 vendors.
The Georgetown MNCC MASH coordinator, Floyd Rollins, says the spots in the Square of the Revolution have been filled. He listed the areas with remaining spots.
From Bar Street Kitty to Thomas Road, it's $10,000 for allocation spots. From Bar Street to Thomas, it's $10,000. From Thomas Road to Lamaha Street, it's $12,000. And from Lamaha Street to Church Street, it's $15,000. As also what she mentioned, Square of the Revolution has already been filled to capacity in terms of vendors because we are only allocated a small portion of the Square of the Revolution, and there we placed 24 spots for vendors, and all were occupied thus far. On Irving Street, from Church to Forshaw, all the spots were not completely occupied, but because we want to avoid any eventualities on that day, we plan to leave out a few spaces just to ensure some flexibility on that day.
The procedure to purchase a vending spot is as follows. Interested persons are required to go on ground and choose a marked spot and submit the spot number to the City Council for approval. The MNCC has awarded the after-mash cleanup to outside contractors since they want the street cleaning to commence on Saturday, February the 24th from 4 a.m. and hopefully to be completed by 11 a.m. Zanil Williams for InfoHub.